Hi there, this is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com. Welcome into today's episode, and it's all about whether you actually have a problem with alcohol or not. And this episode is entitled, Do I Have a Drinking Problem? The 13 Signs That the Answer is an Absolute Big Fat Yes. So let's run through the indicators of what we see when people develop a problem with alcohol and see how many you fit.
Who wants to be the next to discover how to stop drinking without willpower? Visit StopDrinkingExpert.com and grab your free place on today's coaching session.
I think this is an important thing to talk about because I remember back when I first started to question my own drinking, when I first started to see significant health problems appearing in my life. I was not searching on the internet for ways to stop drinking. My head was firmly in the sand. I wanted evidence that what I was doing was okay. Even as though I was getting health problems that could only be explained by the vast amount of alcohol that I was consuming. Somewhere at the back of my head, I knew this, but I just kept pushing it away, trying to ignore that nagging doubt in my head that it was time to stop drinking. And so I was searching on the internet, how much do you have to drink to be an alcoholic? Is my drinking normal? Do I have a drinking problem, or am I just social? Is this kind of what everyone does these days? Surely it's pretty common to head home after a day at work and open a bottle of wine. Maybe cook the evening meal with a glass of wine in your hand. Surely everyone does that. And so what I was looking for is confirmation that it was okay to carry on doing what I was doing. And what you end up with there is confirmation bias, in that you find a website that says that your drinking's below what would be considered the borderline for alcoholism, and you save it in your favorites. You go, yeah, I'm having that one. And then any website you find that says that you're in big trouble, you just delete it. You leave it immediately. And so I understand if that's what you're thinking. The first point I want to give you as a sign of whether you've got a drinking problem may be answered by the fact that you're watching this video. Because if you are searching for the statement, do I have a drinking problem? And you've ended up at this video because that's what the title is, the chances are you do. Because people who don't have a problem with alcohol don't spend hours searching on the internet about it. They buy it, they drink it occasionally, and it's just kind of a commodity in their life. In the same way they use carrots or potatoes or bananas. If they have 1 week where they have maybe 5 bananas, they don't then spend hours on the internet going, do I have a banana problem? It's just something there in their life. It's kind of in the background, and occasionally it floats to the front, but it's not important. It's not significant. People don't give that much attention to things that aren't problems or aren't important. And so if you're asking Google and YouTube the question, do I have a drinking problem? What that should tell you is, this is something that has undue prominence in your life. And ergo, alcohol probably has too much importance in your life. And so if you're asking the question, the answer is nearly always yes. And so you don't need any more points, really. If you're asking the question, it's time to do something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you another 4 of the indicators in this episode. And then if you want the rest, go to the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com. I've written a blog post all about this. You'll see it. It'll be top of the list. It will give you the 13 indicators of a drinking problem and how you know if you've got one. So point number 1, you're researching about alcohol and about alcoholism. That's a big indicator that it has become something unnatural in your life. The second point I want to give you is the amount of time you spend thinking about alcohol or planning when you can drink. If you're waking up in the morning and you're thinking about your day ahead, and you're thinking, well, I've got meetings in the morning and I've got to do this, and you're scheduling in at what point you're going to be able to drink, This is a big warning sign. Once you start building your day around drinking, you can be pretty sure that this drug's got quite a firm hold on you. Because you then start to neglect other areas of your life and you start to miss opportunities. For example, you may be invited to go somewhere with your family, with your friends, and if you weren't drinking, you would jump at the chance. It would be awesome. You would enjoy it. But you choose not to go because that means that you'll have to drive, and therefore you can't drink. And so you start opting out of these important moments in life to spend time with the drug. So if you've started thinking a lot about alcohol and starting to plan your opportunity to drink, see it as a warning sign that you have a drinking problem and it's time to take action. Third point, and again, I'm the epitome of this. You have health problems, you suspect they're down to your use of alcohol, and you're ignoring them. Maybe you've got an ache or a pain here or there that wasn't there before. You suspect it's because of your drinking, but instead of going to the doctor, you're trying herbal remedies, you're taking painkillers, you're just distracting yourself so that you don't worry about it too much. This is a clear sign, and I know why people do this because I did it myself. I had this dull ache in my right flank. It was in the back mainly, but it radiated around to the front. And it was there for a good 3 months. And this was at the height of my drinking. I was drinking at least 2 bottles of wine a day. I was going through a bottle of spirits on top of that over the weekend. And this pain kind of arrived start of January. So after a really heavy festive season of drinking, I had this pain. And instead of going to the doctor, which is the logical thing to do because, over here in your abdomen, you've got a lot of really significant and important organs. Your liver's over here, your kidneys over here, your intestines, all sorts of things that are really vital to living a healthy life. So going to the doctor would have been the logical thing to do. But instead, I spent days, weeks on Google trying to find health problems that it could be that weren't connected to alcohol. And so there may be something in your life right now. Maybe your memory has got very bad lately. Maybe you've got sections of time missing because you've had a blackout. Maybe you're starting to get chronic headaches that you didn't have before. Maybe there's something that could be connected to your drinking, but because you're afraid that the doctor will look you in the eye and say, you have to quit drinking, you don't go to the doctor. Be honest with yourself. Are you doing that? Is there something you should be getting medical attention for that you're just not because you're afraid that doctor is going to take alcohol away from you? It's a big warning sign. It's certainly one of the 13 that I talk about at length in the blog today at the website. Okay, number 4 on the 5 that I'm going to give you here today is you're lying about your alcohol consumption. When your friends and family ask you how much you're drinking, you lie. Now, again, been there, done that, and really, when you're in the middle of a lie to someone who loves you, that should slap you about the face, shouldn't it? That should be a big alarm call that this isn't right, this isn't me, I'm not a liar. Why am I lying to, my mom, my dad, my wife? But it doesn't. It's like, it just, you almost feel grateful you got away with it. And you have to be honest with yourself here. Are you lying to people about how much you're drinking? Because if you're at the point where people who love you and care about you are commenting on your drinking or having a quiet word with you, trust me on this, this isn't the first time they've wanted to do it. They've thought about doing this dozens, maybe hundreds of times. They've been worried about you for a very long time before they pluck up the courage to mention it to you. So just be aware of this. And you know, the next time the doctor says to you, how much do you drink? And you say, oh, just a couple of glasses of wine. There should be an alarm bell going off if it's not a couple of glasses of wine. And also watch out for ways that you can lie with plausible deniability. I'll give you two really stupid examples of what I used to do. Firstly, I would always throw away the last 10% of the final bottle of wine that I drank on an evening. Generally, I would drink 2 bottles of wine a night. The last bottle, I would always throw away the last bit in the bottle. Why? This is so stupid. Why? So that when I went to bed and my wife said to me, did you drink 2 bottles of wine again? I could lie to her with plausible deniability. I could look her in the eye and with my hand on my heart say, no, I did not drink 2 bottles of wine. And I would say, I drank the first bottle and I started on the second one, but I didn't finish it. That made me feel better. And it's complete nonsense, isn't it? What difference does that make? That's the first thing I used to do. Second thing I used to do, say the doctor would say to me, how many glasses of wine are you drinking on a night? I would say 3, doctor. But he had no idea how big my wine glasses were. 3 glasses in my house was a bottle of wine. But I loved the fact that I could look the doctor in the eye and say, I only drink 3 glasses of wine a night. That's pretty good, isn't it? What's the point? Watch out for these lies that you've embellished and made easier to tell. It's a big warning sign. The final thing I'm going to give you today is something to watch out for. Has your drinking impacted your relationships? Maybe you're arguing more with your partner. Maybe people who love you have now started to question your drinking or suggest to you that you cut back. And this has caused you to have arguments and rows with people or avoid people. This is how powerful this drug is. You can have someone in your life who you love dearly. You love spending time with them. And then one day they tell you that they're worried about your drinking and they want you to stop. And rather than seeing that this is, someone who loves you and has got your best interests at heart, rather than seeing it like that, you just avoid them. You turn down their invitations to come around. You don't go out with them. You stay away from them because they're the nasty person who wants to take your drug away from you. And this really damages your life at quite a profound level, because what you end up doing is you end up choosing to spend time with people who don't care about you. They just like to use the same drug as you. Most drinkers think they have a lot of friends. They don't. They just have a lot of people who like to do the same drug. And drinkers like to drink in company because it implies safety in numbers. But there is no safety in numbers with alcohol. It doesn't matter whether you drink on your own or with a group of people. The chances of it destroying your life are exactly the same. It doesn't make any difference. But if you see that this drug has started to damage what's important to you the most, your relationship with your family, with your children, with your friends, it's time to take action. So there you go. That's 5. If you want the rest, they're on the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com. And if you are worried about your drinking, do something. Today, not tomorrow, today. Go to the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com, and sign up for today's free quit drinking coaching session. Thanks a lot. See you in the next episode.
Imagine no more hangovers, no more mornings of guilt and regret, and no willpower required to get there.
Really consider this because it's different. It's different to anything you can find out there, and it gives you real mental freedom from the clutches of alcohol.
Get my best-selling ebook free today at stopdrinkingexpert.com.
Without a doubt, if you can make it happen, if you can find a way, if it's something that you feel the heartstrings pulling, that you need to make a change in your life, then you need to pull out all the stops. Pull out all the stops to make it happen and be here.
It's just so worth it. Why did I waste all those years? Being in my middle 60s now, I wasted so many years drinking.
Find out why this is the net's only 5-star rated quit drinking solution. And get your free ebook today at stopdrinkingexpert.com.